this is the input box trail for values. Up here in the red stripe, I'm going to click on trail. Then we're going to advance through until we see it start to build the data. Alright, here it started. First, it did a box N of 5 positions, 3 for the value, 1 for the sign, and 1 for the letter exponent. Sign at click number 39, so it's updatable, and is the value of a control register K. This is the box. See, it has 3 digits, a place for the sign, and a place for the letter exponent. Then it took the absolute value of the K global register and also rounded it. Then it adds 125 to X, that gets us over here. And it sets control register L to 5 for the number to increase the index by per row, M for the number of columns, N for the number of rows, and then it does a box numeric 7 positions. Well, down here we see these 20 boxes, and there's 5 digit positions, and then there's 6 with the sign, and 7 is the exponent letter. And here we see some letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, but we don't see any negative signs. But these are clickable and can be updated because it's gave them a click number. Well, we advance 9 more. Now we see it create a 10 by 10 matrix. And up here we see at X10, Y100, it's going to produce a matrix of M columns, 10, and rows, 10, font, 4 for bold, 13 points, that's these values here, box N, okay, of all of them, there's going to be 100 of them, and 123,000 was added to the number of positions to indicate that it needed to have the values for L, M, and N. 6 positions. Well, you can see there's 4 here for digits, 1 for the sign, and another position for the letter exponent. Alright, so it's displaying this matrix. We'll advance another 9. Now we see it's getting into the part where it's going to invert the matrix. That's going to take a lot of instructions. We're not going to go through the instructions for inverting a matrix. So I put a halt instruction at the end of the matrix inversion. So I'm going to go over here, and instead of advancing 9, I'm going to click on advance so it goes to the next halt. There I did. Look how fast it got there. It would have been a lot of 9s. Alright, here it is. So now I can advance 9. And here's the stuff we want to work on. Here it's setting control register L to 10. That's the amount of the offset to increase, and it goes to a new row. And here is how many rows are there. Well, it added 1,000 to the number of rows because this multiplication down here could be for 2 vectors, but it's matrices that we're multiplying. So we add 1,000 to the number of rows to let it know that this multiplication is for matrices, and it always doesn't need to know the number of columns because the number of rows and columns is the same, 10. Then it goes on, well, here it does the multiplication and makes matrix C. A times B makes matrix C. Then it sets up XY position, sets the L, M, and N all to 10. We advance again. We see a font set and we're boxing N. And here we're going to show matrix B. Here's matrix B. It has 6 positions, 4 for the digits, 1 for the sign, and 1 for the letter exponent. It has 0 for the click number. These are not updatable. This is matrix B. You cannot update matrix B. Now we're going to go into a loop. Now this loop is going to go around 100 times. It's a loop that checks to see what the size of a value is. And if it's really small, it sets it to 0. That's because we don't want something showing up with a very small value, like something says 1 and Z, small letter Z for its exponent, meaning it's a very small number. So I don't want to go around this thing the 100 times. So again, I put a halt at the end of it. So I'm going to do an advance to get to the end of this loop that goes around 100 times. Alright, here you see, there's the end of it. Here's the halt. Now, I'm going to advance 9. Well, I see it setting up an XY position of 700X 180Y. I suspect that's right here. This is matrix C. Sets up a font, bold, but only 8 points. Yep, these are small. Then it says do the box N. It doesn't give the values for L, M, and N because it uses the ones it already knows of 10, 10, and 10. You see, the 123,000 was added to the number of places to indicate that it needs the L, M, and N control registers. And next we see the 0 saying it's not updatable. Nope, you can't update this. And that is matrix C. Then it says X to 290, Y to 80, and it's going to start showing text. So let's advance 9. Here it put matrix A above it, matrix B above it, matrix C above it, and it also said that A times B is equal to C. Alright, this is the end then of the trail for the value boxes.